All right, let's get to UTSA, Texas State. Obviously, I hope everyone has a wonderful football season, but slightly less wonderful than the Denver Broncos, please. UTSA playing Texas State this Saturday, 3 o'clock, the I-35 showdown, the sixth iteration. Has a lot of interesting facets to it, in my opinion. None more important, though, than the head coach connection between GJ Kinney and Jeff Traylor. And I pulled up a shot from Monday where Jeff kind of illustrates how close these two actually are.
As far as my relationship with GJ, I think that's pretty well documented. I mean, he was my quarterback, and he's like a son to me in every sense of the word. We communicate very frequently, and I don't really talk to very many head coaches. I mean, but he's one that we talk to quite a bit, and I'm very happy for his success. It doesn't surprise me at all. I coached with him at SMU. I coached with him in Arkansas. I would probably say he would speak to me as one of his mentors or father figure like, and I would say the same of him. He's literally like one of my own kids, and I'll be rooting for him every single day until Saturday at 3 o'clock.
I love the closeness to the two coaches. I really do.
I do too. I like the fact this is one hell of a matchup too. I like that both of these coaches, whatever it is that makes them great coaches, obviously they probably pulled from one another over this time, and it's cool to see that Coach Traylor flipped UTSA and took them to a place they've never been before. GJ has done the same thing, and even though Texas State has been to the mountaintop before, it's been decades since they were, a legit program that people were looking at and having wide eyes about, and not to take anything away from, there's been some in recent memories. I mean, what Coach Bailiff did when he was at Texas State, a number of years ago. But to have this recent upsurge is so incredibly fun for people that went to school there, and, have your team relevant in some way, shape, or form. I'm super fascinated to see what's going to happen in this ball game and who does this mean more for? Which program? I don't know I can't answer that, I don't think.
As close as Jeff Traylor and GJ Kinney are, they haven't talked a lot this week, and Jeff was asked about that on Tuesday. Luis?
I'm surprised we haven't, but no, we have not. I don't know if he might be being the old wily veteran on me right now, being a little, I don't know what he's up to.
You're not going to make the first move?
I'll probably reach out if he doesn't holler at me by Wednesday or Thursday just to make sure he's not going to beat me too bad.
All right, Coach. Jeff is so shucksy doodles about things. Like, beat me too bad. Like, you've beaten him 5 times, not him particularly, but UTSA. Right. I mean, UTSA is in a higher division. They're a better program than they have been for a longer period of time as of recent memory. Like, you don't have to play it off like that. This is all just coach posturing.
Yeah. It is, but I mean this is difficult because this game does mean a lot to both fan bases, right? But there's some real life elements between these two, and you've done a very good job of highlighting it. But I mean, when you talk about GJ playing for Jeff and the circumstances that led up to that, which was GJ's dad getting shot in the abdomen because of a parent that was pissed off at him, and then GJ coming over and playing for Jeff after that happened. I mean, like, that's how do you put into context that relationship when we're talking about a couple of football teams that want to win a ball game on Saturday? I mean, there's so many layers to this, and I think both guys do a really good job of somehow trying to keep the focus on football without having to bring up some of those memories too, which I'm sure for either guy, how do you navigate that kind of life situation?
You kind of have both sides of the coin, right? You have the fan bases who I wouldn't say are being nasty, but are poking fun at each other on social media, and 5-0, 0-5.
Some of it's really clever though, and it's clean clever too. Really,
that's what I'm saying. They're not being nasty or anything, but there's a lot of smack talk going on, and then you have the level of incredible respect going on between GJ and Jeff. It's very yin to yang when it comes to looking at the game, but how fans are looking at it and just how the teams are looking at it. As far as on the field, UTSA has got to protect Owen McCown to win this game. Texas State was 18th last year in sacks across the entire nation, I believe, with 34. penalties can't happen, but you're going to have to outscore this team. Obviously, you have to outscore a team to win, but you're going to really have to light it up on the scoreboard this week, and you can't do that if Owen McCown's running for his life.
I think Texas State's quarterback was running for his life too, so I think there's some similar issues. But I think, the old adage about teams making the biggest leap between week 1 to week 2, both of these teams will be ready. I was astonished at how well Texas State ran the football. I mean, it was almost like they were trying to give nothing away in the passing game, but they didn't necessarily have to with as many guys that they had that had, so many great numbers in terms of yards per carry. Again, I'm just fascinated because I didn't think last year GJ could flip it like he did at UIW. He did. I was also shocked with how good UTSA was last year. And damn it, Texas State hung right with them. I mean, and, played the street brawl game, right? They matched the physicality. That was a tussle last year, one-score game that was close right up to the end. So with both programs, I think we both believe that they're going to be good this year. Let's see some explosions on Saturday for all the right reasons. Two guys that like each other getting after it. My guys against your guys. At the end, we'll hug at midfield and say see you again next year and let the best team win.
Yeah, and I think the Texas State has a little bit of a, not detriment, but I know we're going a little long here. Sorry. We are.
It's cold.
Luis needs a sweater. We'll wrap it up here in a second. The Bobcats brought on a lot of transfers on defense. Obviously, you saw kind of some quirks of that last week against Lamar, allowing 27 points. It's going to take a little while for those guys to mesh. I don't know how that's going to look on Saturday. Are you going to need more time to mesh than a week and a half, 2 weeks? If they do, UTSA can put up points. They've shown that they can put up points, and they're going to go fast on offense. The key for the Roadrunners on defense to me is don't allow the Bobcats to score 35 points. It's pretty cut and dry, but last year they were 7-0 when they scored 35 points, 1-4 when they scored, 1-5 when they scored less than or 34 or less. Can you stop this offense from scoring? Last year they did. 20-13 was the final. Can they do it again with a new quarterback? You got Jordan McLeod that comes in from James Madison.
Yeah, he was the conference player of the year.
Yeah, he was one of the best quarterbacks in college football last year. They led the Sun Belt in yards per game and points per game. Can you stop them? That's going to be something I'm gonna want to keep track of. So, who wins?
Damn.
Line is 9 is 1.5, 2.5 for Texas State. Texas State is favored. UTSA will almost certainly be the underdog in this game.
That is to me the most surprising thing of this all. So what does Vegas know that we don't? But it feels like a trap game. I will say UTSA by 3.
UTSA by 3.
Yeah.
And
it pains me to say that because I love GJ, I love my school, but I'm just going to go with skins on the wall.
All right. I think UTSA...
A little further along than what Texas State is as we sit here before the ball game. I'll let you know differently if it flips the other way.
One thing I know is that it's going to be a close game. I feel almost certain to say that it's going to be close. UTSA only plays close ball games.
and not only that, I think in a lot of ways, because they got your squad coming in the week after.
ASU, baby.
But this is, in a lot of ways, this is going to feel like their Super Bowl. There will be many explosions in this game. And I would say that if you maybe not for the kids that aren't from around Texas and, some of the transfers, but we're probably looking forward to showing ASU what they can do more than they are UTSA. But for the Texas guys, this and I think for GJ, this is literally Super Bowl 1 for them. This is going to be fun.
I will not be surprised if either team wins, but
Me neither.
But I think UTSA has enough to pull it out. It's just going to be, can they play a clean game? And can they capitalize on the mistakes that Texas State will make? Because they've proven that they will make mistakes, whether that's turnovers or penalties. I think they had 90 penalties last year for 900 yards.
And yet still scored a gazillion points in the season.
So it's going to be a really interesting weekend. It's going to be a really interesting game. Don and I will be back on Monday. I don't believe you'll be here because you'll be traveling back from Cleveland. So Don Harris and I will be back on Monday to talk about it. That's it for the Sneakers Cleats podcast today. Remember to download, rate, review, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. Post pictures of my predictions on your fridge because they're going to be 100% accurate, except I would love if Chuck's were more accurate in the AFC. We'll see you guys right back here on Monday.